Down with the boys catching up in a neon light. Didn't know till we walked in, it was karaoke night. She was chasing a shot with a line. She was laughing, they were daring her to get on the mic. One of them walked up and turned in her name. Next thing I knew, man, she was up on the stage singing It's Carolina. Tales California, maybe she'd fall for a boy from South Georgia. She's got the bar in the palm of her hand, and she's a 90s country fan, like I am. Hey, I got a Chevy, she can flip a quarter. I drive anywhere to California when this song is over. I don't find her, she had me at Carolina. My heart didn't need no string. I was raising my glass up for her and saw her smiling at me. Yeah, she had me down by the end of verse two, like there wasn't no one else in the room. She was singing, It's Carolina, Tales California. Maybe she'd fall for a boy from South Georgia. She's got the bar in the palm of her hand, and she's a 90s country fan, like I am. Hey, I got a Chevy, she can flip a quarter. I drive anywhere to California, all is over. She
Good morning. Good morning. I think we need to get started with this meeting. We give already 2 or 3 minutes to people to get settled in. So first of all, welcome everyone to Nashville AHS 2025. That's it. Year on the works. We are super excited to have you all coming here to this meeting to stay together for the next few days. So this is the official opening for AHS annual meeting. AHS on tour, when surgery meets the stage. As you see, this is our main room. We have a room just beside us, and downstairs we have our exhibit, and another few secondary rooms. So I'll ask you to stop by, visit what is new on the booth, and get to see what is coming on this market of eyeball surgery. With that, I cannot start this meeting without a special thanks to our industry partners, specifically our corporate alliance partners as BD, Intuitive, Medtronic, and Pacira. We will not be able to manage to create and organize a meet this big and so well created without their support. Tonight, this morning, now, we're going to have our Nyhus-Wantz lecture. My address to you, and a special session honoring Professor Neil Smart from UK, together with the World Hernia Cup. And please don't forget to wear your favorite jerseys. I don't know if you brought them, but you need to. And we have, at the end of this meeting, our cadaveric session. As you all know, this is a CME accredited event, so don't forget to claim. You need to do it online until October 21st. And your certificates of attendance will be available on the same link. We do have a Wi-Fi open to this conference. As you can search on your device, it's Renaissance Conference. Please get a pen because the password is kind of complex. It's AHS 2025. This meeting is being recorded and will be available in our app on demand for 90 days. So you have the opportunity to check it out what happened during those 3 days. There are some QR codes outside. Please download the app and search for AHS. You can have the full schedule, and information about speakers, abstracts, and even network opportunities. We do have some lunch and learns and breakfast and learn sessions. They are all going to happen on downstairs on the Germantown Hall, rooms 1, 2, 3. Is first come, first serve. So if you want to be in a specific room, please be there a few minutes in advance. Last but not least, tomorrow is our Music City Vibes Day. So I know there's a lot of shopping can happen here in Nashville. My wife just got boots. So dress up as your favorite singer or band or cowboy, whatever you want. That's your time here. So without more housekeeping, I'm pretty sure that we're going to repeat these over and over during the conference. It is my absolute pleasure to introduce our 2025 Nyhus-Wantz lecturers, our D, that is Professor Vedra Augustine. They gave me multiple pages to introduce her, but I don't think that introduction should be longer than the lecture itself. So, and I didn't prepare any slides, so don't worry, you're safe. Vedra is professor of surgery at Carolina Medical Center, now Atrium. Who knows Vedra knows how passionate she's about her patients and minimally invasive surgery. That's what drove her to specialize on this area. She received several awards, so this is not something new for her. She received the Atrium Health Teresa Filippo Martin Mentor of the Year and has been named a few times top doctor by her local Charlotte magazine. She completed her medical degree and residency in Louisville and then trained on Charlotte, Carolina Medical Center, and stays there to fulfill her career until the professorship of surgery. But besides all the titles, I think the most important to me that I consider her my friend. will not be able to do what we've done on the society without veterans. So this is even more deserved award. This is the highest award that AHS can give someone. And really, I couldn't think about someone better to receive this year. So please, Vedra, stage is yours.
Wow, thank you very much. I am so humbled and honored to be the recipient of this award. I have not been this nervous for a talk in exactly 24 years. So people who know my age can figure out how young I was back then. My journey to here was definitely not straight. I mean, there's been a lot of turns and twists, and I just wanted to spend a little bit of time kind of telling you a little bit about that. And one of my disclosures is that I really never even thought I was going to be a doctor, definitely not a surgeon, and definitely not a hernia surgeon. Even in residency, I didn't really care too much about hernias. Sorry to offend anybody. So my childhood was sort of regular until about age 11. I was born in Sarajevo, Bosnia, and I pretty much went to school. I annoyed my older brother a lot. I played a lot and loved going to the seaside. I really hated skiing, but my parents made me do it for very long winter times. Yeah, everything was pretty regular. This is my mom and dad, and I really liked watching American series. So Beverly Hills 90210, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, constantly watched them with subtitles, learned a little bit of English. And my dream was to actually come to America, because my impression was that that's exactly what it looked like. So I begged my parents for a long time. We had some cousins in Louisville, Kentucky, and I begged them, and my brother did too. So eventually, after a lot of begging, we were able to come to the United States. And while I was looking for all these friends from the TV shows, Dylan and Brenda and everybody, the war broke out in Bosnia. So what turned out, it was supposed to be a short vacation, turned out to be 3 years without our parents. So at 11, I'm watching CNN. I'm looking for my parents because we have 6 months that go by where we don't get any emails. We don't get, obviously, there weren't any texts back then, but you have no communication to know that your parents are even alive. And I remember watching CNN, but the only stuff that they're showing are massacres, and you're just hoping you're going to see your parents run by healthy. But that's, what was going on. And you see pictures of concentration camps, and you're looking for familiar faces. So it was very, very stressful at that age. Sorry, I gotta go back on this one. So I don't actually have a lot of pictures from growing up because my mom decided to mail them during the war to us, and we never got that. But I'm really glad that I was able to find this one. In this picture, I'm number 111 here. And what's interesting in this picture on the other side, 114 was one of my best friends. We always were competing for who was going to be, good at skiing. And like we always competed against each other. So she actually stayed in Sarajevo during the war, and a grenade hit her house, and she was the only one that died during the war. So when I took my son to Sarajevo this summer, actually, we went by the children's monument for all the children who died, and we're actually able to find her name on there. So really very, very sad. Let's see here. I'm not advancing here. All right, here we go. And it's not showing the whole picture here. All right, so this is a ceremony that's held in the city of Sarajevo every year. So we lost almost 12,000 people in my city, and just under 100,000 Bosnians were killed before U.S. intervened, and within 3 days the war was stopped. But this is a ceremony where they actually closed down one of the main streets in Sarajevo, and they put all these red chairs signifying for every person that was killed in the city. I'll tell you, I had survivor guilt growing up, even though I was 11. I really didn't have any emotional support in the U.S. I had to face everything that you face in middle school growing up, regular middle school stuff, but then also learning a different language, not having your family by you or never knowing if you're going to see them. So with all this guilt, I kind of thought about what could I do to make my parents happy, proud, and I knew that they really cared about education, they cared about health. So I really dove into my studies because of this fear, the gratitude that I survived, and I said, school, and that's the only thing that I can do to actually help my parents. Hopefully, if they survive, if they make it out. But this road was anything but smooth. I faced language barriers, inner doubts, external judgment. There were so many times that I didn't feel like I belonged in the room, in the program, in the field. I enrolled in University of Louisville School of Medicine, and then was in the Louisville Surgery Department. Those are my chief residents. That's our graduation right there. And then after when I was a fourth, fifth year, I really thought that minimally invasive surgery, that was the way of the future. I thought I need to really train in this. So I talked to my chairman and he said, you need to go down to Carolinas. You need to do an MIS fellowship over there with Todd. And over text messaging, they arranged for me to come and do a one-year fellowship in Carolinas. I didn't know that I was landing in this hernia mecca there. And many of these young faces here, you guys may recognize, they're going to be up on the podium. So for many of you who know me, you know that I spend every other weekend in some random, not great area watching my son play tennis, junior tennis, and it's a struggle. Struggle for the kids, struggle for the parents, and the love for the sport is fueled by tears, fears, and hours of constant disappointments because tennis, just like surgery, there's no participation trophies. And even when you think you kind of did well, the next match may be worse. So you just keep humble, you keep playing. And, in all of these, in my delirium of all these tennis weather delays, fire ant bites, sunburns, I thought, wow, this is so much like surgery. These kids maybe can become good surgeons one day. Because tennis is really not a team sport. Surgery, we say it's a team sport, but in the end, you're truly responsible for how that patient does. The other thing is that the game always keeps changing. So you have to be on top of it. You have to have your tool belt of all the different tools. We talk about that in hernia. The thing that I love about tennis and surgery is that really it is the most optimistic sport because you could be down 2 sets and down love 5, and then some momentum changes and you could win the whole match or you can lose it. So tennis players and surgeons, we look for those small wins in every point, in every move that we make, because hopefully it's a little win for the patient in the end. So I was really young, actually, when I found out about hernias. I was maybe 4 or 5 years old. My brother actually had a hernia. And my mom is very super protective. She didn't want him to have any kind of surgery. I think maybe she watched some of the complication lectures. So she basically found this natural healer in Bosnia. And so how this worked, and I think I was maybe 4 or 5 because I do remember it. We had to go get these quail eggs from somewhere, and then we had to go to this village. And then my brother was supposed to climb on the tree, and he's kind of chubby. You can see in that picture, he was going to climb on a tree and hang upside down with his pants down. But ChatGPT would not create an image of a child with their pants down. So you're just going to have to imagine that. And then, I was laughing really hard and my mom was hushing me. So maybe that's why this procedure didn't work. But regardless, it didn't work and he had to eventually get a laparoscopic hernia repair. But yeah, I was very affected by this. And, but let's talk about hernias and our specialty. I'll tell you, the way this room looks now is very different from what these rooms used to look like. And I'm so happy how this hernia world has changed. From feeling completely uncomfortable going to a surgical meeting, regardless of if you're presenting, and I wasn't, I was just usually just in the meeting watching it, to really looking forward to meetings, looking forward to seeing all of these people. And you can look around and you can see that in just a few years, really, things have changed quite a bit. And as many of you guys know, this is the roster for last year's officers. And what Todd pointed out is that only Sean was actually born in the United States, all of us. So talk about diversity, the American Hernia Society. And I think you can see there's so many people here from different countries. It's really one big family. So I think without a doubt, our specialty has evolved very quickly. And what we're doing right now with such great success really we couldn't even dream about it years ago. I really like the story about Picasso, where this lady asks him to scribble something on a napkin and she'll pay him whatever he thinks it's worth. And he said, okay, pay me $10,000. And she said, that only took you a few minutes. And he says, no, that took me 40 years to do that in a few minutes. So I think we have to be careful as we get our expertise in hernias and we start kind of downvaluing like, oh, that doesn't really take that much time. Going back to tennis, Roger Federer, he hates when people say his game looks effortless. He says, I worked years and years to make it look effortless. So I think it's just something important about expertise and understanding, what it takes to really get there. And so much has changed in hernia. I remember as a resident taking a piece of alloderm in an elective healthy patient and doing a bridge and thinking, that's going to work. And now I'm horrified thinking about it. This is the first program from 2002 hernia meeting. And there was just one lecture on component separation. It was actually a paper from the Netherlands, and they talked about using component separations only in contaminated cases with no mesh, and they had a 32% recurrence rate, but this was the only paper at the first hernia meeting. Now, fast forward to the first meeting I actually lectured at, Gina's meeting, they had 22 lectures on component separations, and then I counted 52 lectures at this meeting and papers that have some kind of a mention of component separation. So just in those 10, 15 years, things have really changed. So we had our board meeting yesterday, and just listening to all the projects and everything that's going on, it's really American Hernia Society is doing a lot. A lot of credit goes to Jill and Margie, who are our executive directors. They have done an amazing job in the last few years, really taking the committees and seeing what important things to do, and really figuring out how to position everybody. We have some amazing committee members and chairs, and just phenomenal ideas. So right now we have these skills labs that are occurring, so providing education to surgeons in training and also surgeons who are past training. We have a lot of different things. So become a member of AHS, because if you go to the member portion of the AHS, there's DIAS notes. Our head DIAS has these wonderful procedural explanations. Then you have the WISE library, which has almost 100 different expert lectures. And then we're doing a lot of things such as grants, scholarships. It's really becoming quite not only a specialty, but also all the wonderful things that are going on. And I think Yuri is also going to talk a little bit about this, but really without our management company, we couldn't do it. I think another thing to talk about is what's really been special is that this hernia world has come together in a way never thought of before Brian Jacobs' creation of the IHC. 15,000 surgeons on here constantly talking about posting their cases. It's helped me, and it's helped so many people just communicate and really, really just discuss this. We're maybe not as famous as Taylor Swift, but we're getting there. I'm a little upset about Travis's proposal, which was just recent, because I did send her a message in January, which I thought she would get to and answer for me. So I'm still hoping she makes it to our talent show tomorrow. That would be lovely. But she may have other engagements at current time. And truly, finally, the real reason that I'm here on this stage. It's by no means is this a slide that depicts everything, but I've never had a formal mentor, but I think I've been sent a lot of angels along the way, and this does not include everybody, but people who really believed in me before I believed in myself. So first it started with Kelly McMasters, who was the chairman of surgery in Louisville, and he basically paged me when I was a fourth year medical student, and I was scared, trembling, and ran to the Norton's Hospital Surgeons Lounge, and he just looked at me and he said, "Are you sure you want to be a surgeon?" There's really no way you can answer that except yes, I am, So I said that, and I thought, well, I'm going to do this. I gave him my word. I'm going to die trying, or I'm going to, I can't say no to this man. So it's been great. He supported me along the way. He got me the fellowship, and he introduced me to Todd, who is the best surgeon, doctor, researcher you're ever going to meet. The 15 years I've known him, he's never been lazy for 1 minute to help mentor, inspire. Just really, you guys are going to see the Education Award, and you really, I think he's touched just about everybody in some way. As far as surgical partners, Ken Kircher, who's in the audience, he has been first my mentor in fellowship, and then he's been an amazing partner for the last 13 years. He is the most honest, helpful person you're ever going to meet. He's also the best surgeon. When he has surgeries, it looks like he's operating on a cadaver. There's no blood in the field, and it's just really phenomenal. People who've supported me, David Chen. He is the most gracious person in the world. Everybody knows him. There was a birthday party for him recently, a surprise birthday party where over 100 people came from all over the world, from 4 continents, just to come see him. And that's the kind of person, and they would do it over and over again. Conrad Balliser, he has loved me and pushed me and my son like we're his own family. He nominated me for this award, and I thank him very much. He believes in me much more than I believe in myself. Gina Adralis, she gave me the chance to talk at my first meeting. I was 8 years already in practice, and she gave me the first talk at AHS in 2018. Archana Ramaswamy, she has been an angel, a great friend. She loves a good project, and she is one of the hardest workers, but she knows right from wrong, and she's always really kind of trying to push the way. Eric Pauli, thank you for all the advice on salt, cheese. He's going to have a podcast one day, and we're all going to subscribe to it. And finally, we have Yuri Jorge Dias, David Laurier. Thank you for all your consistent and compassionate support. I mean, Yuri just gave me a cough drop before I came up here just because he knew I was sick. This is the kind of community and the kind of help, and all my previous fellows, resident trainees. There's no way you guys have taught me so much more than I can ever think to teach you, and I just hope that I can mean to any of you guys as much as you guys have meant to me. So thank you very much, and I really, really am appreciative of this honor. Thank you.
Hey, Vedra. There is a crystal here for you. David? David?
All right. We can load up the slides for Dr. Henneford's introduction. So this morning we're introducing a new award. It's an award with the recipient getting his own name on the award. So that's pretty great. It's the AHS started the 2025 inaugural year as a B. Todd Henneford Education Award presented to B. Todd Henneford. So we'll talk a little bit about the GOAT here. So welcome to everybody. It's super exciting to have all of you here today. Vedra, amazing meeting. You're truly a superstar, and we've all known that. But you've done this for the AHS for so long. But it also is a testament to the person we're going to introduce right now, that you're one of his kids and one of the Henneford family. It's in the right upper corner there in a Henneford introduction. So just starting this meeting, when they pull up these slides, I just want to take a moment. We've had an amazing year this year, but at the same time, there's always things in life that come about. I know that we'll ease into our next keynote lecture where we'll talk about our good friend Neil Smart, but also if we can play that one, I'd like to take a second to mention and remember our good friend Jared Kaufman. Many of you know Jared. He's been a fixture here at the AHS, and Jared was driving on his way to work, and he had a way of a lot of those of you in the room that are his friends. He would call everybody, and he'd take time to really like call you, see how you were doing. And he was driving to work, and we think he had a heart attack, but he passed away early in this year. And so we just take a second to just remember Jared and all of our good friendships here, and remember that life is short, and so enjoy the things that you do here. But Jared. I put this quote there: "You make a living by what you get, but you make a life by what you give." And Jared really had a love for everybody, but also to serve. And so Yuri and I'm leaving tonight, and Yuri's leaving tomorrow because Jared had a mission to Honduras, and so we're going to go there and carry out his mission and go with his wife. And so just a second to remember our good friends here that have passed. So today I'm going to spend a little bit happier topic talking about. You're gonna have an emotional morning here, kids. So. But I'm going to talk about our Education Award winner, so B. Todd Henneford. He is the director of the Abdominal Health and Hernia Repair Program at Endeavor Health in Chicago. For those of you that have been here for the last 2 decades, you'll know that that's a different affiliation than normal, and we'll talk about that. But so Todd Henneford, half this room is somehow Henneford's family, and he's really shaped the AHS. But I've had a different relationship. I'm not one of his fellows, and probably because of that, they asked me to introduce him, because otherwise everybody will fight, because there's too many competing people that are just superstars. But Todd has been my really good friend, and I've had the pleasure of really spending my whole time in the AHS as his